What is going on, wrestling fans? It is WWE at Home 219 here, and I haven't came at you with a video in a long ass time. I feel like since it's the road to WrestleMania is what, 27 days away from now. I'm going to give you a WrestleMania 31 card predictions and give you my opinion on how strong the card looks. Now, I'm not going to give you my actual WrestleMania predictions. I'm sure I'll come out with a video about 1 to 2 weeks before WrestleMania actually happens. So this is just a card prediction and evaluation of the card that I think is going to happen. So first off, what I think will be on the pre-show, they usually do have a pre-show matchup, maybe one or two, is going to be Stardust versus Goldust. Now, these two had a matchup at Fastlane, and it was pretty decent, but it definitely was leading up to a matchup at WrestleMania because of the sneaky roll-up pin that Goldust had on Stardust. I think this is eventually just going to lead to Stardust becoming Cody Rhodes once again. I think that's what's better for WWE. So I'm predicting that to be on the pre-show, but it will make the card, definitely. Also, there's going to need to be some sort of Divas action. Now, I don't know if you've been on Twitter or if you're on Twitter, on social media, but there's been this hashtag, Give the Divas a Chance, and Vince McMahon even responded to it, and apparently they're going to be getting more time. So I think this is a good opportunity to maybe put a tag match in, maybe not a title match. You could save that for the pay-per-view after WrestleMania. But I think the Bellas should face off in a tag team matchup against divas like Paige and Natalya, or bring up Charlotte and have her team with Paige to show off that Paige and Charlotte, in my opinion, are the two best wrestling divas on the roster. And I think that'd be an interesting tag matchup, and maybe have the Bellas lose just to show how strong Paige and Charlotte or Paige and Natalya could be. So expect that to be either on the pre-show or on the main card. Probably on the main card, just because of the complaints lately that have been for the Divas not getting enough time. For the second year in a row, looks like they're going to stick with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I really can't predict you a winner right now because I'm not sure who's all's in it. So I'll get to that in the other video that I'm going to make in a couple weeks. But expect that matchup to be on the card. Also, I'm expecting there to be a multi-team tag match. Now, this is the only way you can get people on a certain card. Of course, they're trying to make the Ascension look big. The Usos are feuding with the current tag team champions, Kid and Cesaro, and you might as well throw the New Day in there. And I think there's going to be a fatal four-way tag match, or maybe even tag team turmoil. Find another team like the Matadors, even though they never are on TV anymore. But I feel like they're going to have a multi-team tag match for the titles, and expect Kid and Cesaro to look strong during that matchup. Also, another multi kind of participant matchup I think they're going to have is probably a 6-person Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Now, they've been building this up. Bad News Bears has lost like his last 6 televised matches against a bunch of different people, and I think guys like Dean Ambrose are going to be in this ladder match. Bad News Bear, of course, because he's the champion. Dolph Ziggler, R-Truth, Daniel Bryan, maybe even Sheamus. And I saw Jericho was wrestling at Madison Square Garden the other night. Maybe they'll throw him in there just to make it interesting. Ladder matches are entertaining. Maybe throw in Luke Harper because he had a hell of a ladder match with Dolph Ziggler. And I think if you threw a bunch of those guys together in a ladder match, it'd be very entertaining. So expect some kind of ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. And I personally am a fan of that ladder match. Next up, these next 5 matches I have here are probably going to be the back end of the card, or maybe one of these lead off the show because they're pretty big matches I'm expecting to happen. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. Now, Randy Orton technically right now is a member of the Authority, or maybe he's just kind of a tweener and he really hasn't turned on Seth. I'm expecting him maybe to turn on Seth tonight. So we'll see. They got to start building up that matchup for WrestleMania. Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. And maybe that'll lead to bigger things in the night for Seth Rollins. Also, it looks like it's going to happen. Bray Wyatt has been calling out The Undertaker on multiple occasions. I definitely think that matchup's going to happen. Maybe The Undertaker returns tonight on the March 2nd Raw. Or maybe they'll save him till March 9th. Who knows? But Taker should be coming back soon because they got to start building those two up even more. Also expect maybe a stipulation in this match. I don't know if it'll be for the United States Champion, but John Cena to get a rematch versus Rusev. He didn't technically tap out, but he passed out to the Accolade on Rusev on Fastlane. So I'm expecting these two to have definitely a rematch at WrestleMania 31, but I'm expecting it to be some kind of stipulation, maybe a flag match. Who knows? I'm not really a fan of this feud. I don't know how you guys view this feud, but I'm not a fan whatsoever. Now, these two matches I'm expecting to be the big marketing matches. These is where most of the attention is going to be drawn at. The first one is Triple H versus Sting. We haven't seen Sting compete in WWE ever, and he's going to step into a ring against Triple H. I think it's going to be a hell of a matchup, and this has been a great long feud that they've been building. This started at Survivor Series 2014, and it's going to end at WrestleMania 31, maybe even go past 31. Maybe there'll be a rematch at another pay-per-view. I mean, I'm a fan of seeing Sting wrestle more than once in WWE. So definitely expect that to be a co-main event or in the later part of the card, because they're putting a lot into this matchup. Maybe they even will make this a Hell in a Cell matchup. Who knows? And then, of course, the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. That's definitely going to happen. It's definitely going to be the main event. Some people aren't a fan of it. I personally am. I think Roman Reigns is ready. I think this is going to be a good matchup. And I would not be surprised if Seth Rollins gets involved in this whatsoever. So there's my WrestleMania 31 predictions for the card. My opinion on the card, I think it's a very strong card. A lot of people might say Daniel Bryan or Dolph Ziggler need to be in a higher up position, but they are in a good spot right now where they'll be able to put on entertaining matchups with where I predicted them to be in, which is the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. I think that matchup could steal the show, but we'll see. This is not the official card, just so you know. This is just my prediction of the card, what I would like to see. So comment down below if you think this card is accurate or what you would like to see for the WrestleMania 31 card. Stay tuned. In a couple weeks, I will have my WrestleMania 31 predictions, probably with my roommate Aaron. And there you go, guys. Follow me on Twitter at Let's Talk _WWE and take it easy.